All right, so we're sitting here with Fear from Evil Geniuses. You just finished your game 2-1 against Virtus Pro in the first bracket match. How do you feel about the games?
They're very stressful. We both made a lot of mistakes, but luckily in the end we were kind of able to pull through in a very long and close game.
The third game you went for what seemed to be a push strat. Why was it that at the beginning it seemed to be kind of tedious to get the push going?
Well, I think the biggest problem we had was we kind of weren't on the same page on what was going on, and a big problem we had was their bottom lane against our Lycan. They really dominated it, so our Lycan had a really hard time getting into the game. So we had to really wait for him to kind of catch up and then get a push going. So we were able to take a nice fight in our jungle, which allowed us to get one tower, and so that's what kind of started the push. We got a little comeback there. We got our levels off a team fight on the bottom lane in our forest, and from there on we should have been able to push really hard because our lineup was meant to snowball like that.
All right, so that went well. After that you managed to take some racks, and after the racks actually you had some difficulty getting into the base again. Why do you think that was?
Well, yeah, like I said, we started to snowball, and when you snowball with a lineup like that, it's very easy to win the game. But I think we had two major mistakes throughout that game when we wanted to push. The biggest problem was we had our Syllabear player, Jao. He said to just we had miscommunication basically, but that's a major problem. He said he was healing and then he was coming back up to the lane directly after. We kind of asked to wait up for him. We should have waited up for him, but we chose to push with 4 heroes when he was not there, and they just came in from behind and like team wiped us, killed 4 of us, and that really stalled our push because they had a bounty hunter, and every track kill they get when we're pushing like that, it makes it very difficult for us to get into the base again. And then we tried it one more time again, and then we had another kind of miscommunication as well. And you know, they played really well, I gotta say though, but they capitalized on the mistakes we made. And unfortunately with the lineup that we had, if you just make a couple mistakes with a bounty hunter on the other team, it's very easy for them to come back. And they were able to get a huge advantage off of our couple mistakes and get back in the game.
It was also a very close game. Was there any point in the game that you actually thought, okay, now we've got it?
The only time I thought that throughout the entire, well, I thought it twice. The one time we got the 4 axes, I thought we had it. And then we kind of threw that away, and then I thought it was a very neutral game. And the second time I thought we had it is when we got the mega creeps. We finally killed all 6 axes. I was like, okay, we probably got this. And it's still even down to the wire even then, because then the throne race happened and it was still very close, but at those times I was pretty confident.
And whose decision was it exactly to go for the throne race? Was it a risk you were willing to take? Did you know that it could be very risky?
We were very confident it would work. I think it was Jimmy Demon, the Lycan player. He decided he was going to buy bots and just TP over there and do it himself, and I was like, yeah, let's go for it. That sounds like a good idea. And it worked out well, because we were able to defend our base and then get the throne as well. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but it still worked out in the end.
All right, well, congrats on this win. You're on the up to the semifinals now. Are there any teams you are afraid of playing because you think they're going to give you a lot of competition?
I've never really been afraid of any team, but like pretty much at this DreamHack, it has some of the fiercest competition in any DreamHack yet. So we're playing DD next, which is a very strong team in their own rights. And then most likely later on we have teams like Alliance and Na'Vi and stuff to look forward to meeting as well. So they're all equally scary in my opinion.
Are you expecting any odd strategies to come out of those games, something that we haven't seen yet because of the new patch?
DD, yeah, they pick odd strategies almost every single game. So yeah, from DD I expect odd strategies. That's what they do. That's every single strat they pick is very odd, but it seems to work. Godblack is just, I don't know, he's a really smart captain and he does weird things. And that's something we really have to study and see what they really like and how to deal with it, because it's really hard to play against things that you usually don't play against. And that's what they kind of have. They have a surprise effect going from in a lot of games.
Did you guys prepare anything special for this DreamHack in terms of special tactics?
No, we're just kind of winging it, to be honest with you.
All right, and other than that, of course, you're always trying to improve as a team and a player. Now, there's lots of amateur teams out there that want to improve and break through as well. Do you have any tips for them as to how they might have to get a chance to get into the pro scene?
There's actually a lot of these amateur teams are doing super well, but my only advice is just keep going, because there's been a lot of upsets lately by these teams that before, even a couple years ago at DreamHack, that were the BYOCs, we'd play them and it would be like a joke. But lately they're giving a run for our money and they're like taking games or almost taking games off us. So if they just keep playing seriously and taking it like this, they're in no time, there's going to be a lot more teams in Dota that are like powerhouses.
And do you think that's going to be a good development for the scene as well in general, more high-level teams?
Oh, definitely. If you have more teams in the scene, that means we can have more tournaments. More competition is always great. It keeps the game exciting. So yeah, that's going to be great.
On a more personal level, what does Dota actually mean to you as a person?
Well, for the past like 3 years, it's pretty much been my life. Gotta say, I live in a team house. We practice Dota all the time. We eat, sleep, work out, go to the gym every once in a while. But it's pretty much Dota. It is my entire life at this stage.
So to get to that point, you've obviously had to sacrifice something. Are there any things you might regret sacrificing, or?
I don't think I regret anything, but yeah, I've had to sacrifice things like school. I stopped going to school to just pursue this for a little bit because I just love the game and I love traveling so much. But other than that, there's always sacrifice. I had to leave my hometown to go to a team house as well. So I've made a ton of sacrifices for the game, but I have no regrets. I'm enjoying what I do.
What do you think is the best gain that you've gained out of the best gain that you've gotten out of those sacrifices in the end?
Just going to tournaments and winning, pretty much. Like the experience of like competition. I love the competition. I've always been super competitive, so going to these events and actually doing well at them is it's worth it to me because I just love competition so much.
Well, in that case, thank you for the interview and good luck in the semifinals.
All right, thank you very much.